All right, welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Monday, May 13th, 2024. If you're not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Anyways, before we get into it, so I do have a few announcements I talked about on Friday. We will have a site-wide flash sale for the next month, so 30 days from now, so May 13th to June 13th. If you go to the website and click join now, it'll take you to account.carnivoretrades.com. These both of these are both built in, so 20% off. Membership plan, there's also a 2-week free trial, so it's totally risk free. Active trader, it's gonna be 60% off your first month. After that, it's $99.99 a month as per usual, so kind of a promotional rate. And then all the consulting services, coaching, everything, 20% off, and 20% off both courses. If you bundle them together, you can get 30% off. So here's all the promo codes there. I will tweet all this information out as well, just so you don't have to keep going back to this video, and I'll pin it. Additionally, we do have the site store up. It's gammaboyapparel.myshopify.com. And we do have some nice products out there. I've tested out almost everything here. Went through extensive testing for that t-shirt, and it looks pretty good now. I just got it in the other day, but I got a couple of things in there if you want to support the channel. Again, it's just kind of a novelty. I'm not really going to be making much off of this, but just a little fun thing to do for you guys. So anyway, yeah, take advantage of that flash sale to be for the next month, and I'll be talking about it pretty regularly, obviously, anyway. All right, so markets here today. Again, not much to talk about here. I did say that today would be here's GameStop, other than GameStop. I did say that today would be a red day, and it looks like that's going to be the case. You're open for another 40 seconds. It's not by much, though. It's 3 points on the S&P. GameStop obviously dominating the headlines today, although the move was over with pretty quickly. 1 2 3 up and then right down. I know everybody's going to freak out. They're helping the suits out. Guys, halting for volatility happens all the time. And by the way, if you think that institutions aren't making money on the long side here, you're just wrong. So there's nothing else to really say about it. You're only sticking it to maybe a few market makers that may be off sides, and hedge funds are jumping on those market makers and jumping down their throats as well. So don't think that you're sticking it to the suits here. That said, there's the closing bell. GameStop up 75%. AMC even getting a bit here, up 78%. Did come off the highs, but closing above $5. So again, meme stocks are running it. I think even Tupperware got a bid today, up 36%. I'm interested here, and I talked about this. I'm in some of these companies already, but like SNDL and Tilray, maybe even a CGC. I'm in some of the marijuana stocks already, but these have been meme stocks in the past, and there's already a lot going on with the DEA rescheduling. So could this be another sector to run if this, this takes off? I think they're going to run anyway. Otherwise, it wouldn't be in them, but perhaps this is the next one to go. I did take the liberty of just messing around here, and if you want to see here's just the GEX for for GameStop for Friday. So you got a lot, and look at this. There's a 0 puts. It's all calls here, but that 30 handle right now is dominating, and then we have 25 and 34 as next starts. If we pull back $20. Again, this is just short term. This could change tomorrow. The stock could come back in. If they get a hold of it, shorts get a hold of it, they could knock it back down. Either way, I don't think this will last past Friday anyway. Everybody's going to be buying monkey calls, and I don't mean like gamma monkey. I mean like ape shit monkeys buying calls for Friday. Because they're just looking for lottery tickets. But either way, dominating the headlines here, and it's funny. There was an article about from Zero Hedge. I think I can find it actually on here, and I didn't read it, but yeah. So Goldman Flows Girl sees stock bond upside risk from CPI, starting to see some real FOMO. But what? So is it FOMO or is there upside risk? Because if you're telling me there's FOMO from the flows, that means that hedges are non-existent, correct? And I think it's funny that GameStop here. It happens today, right? Like this is this speculative price action here. Remember, I talked about this 2 weeks ago. A lot of event volatility, and that's why the market was able to bid up. Last week, there was no volatility at all. There was no economic data, and hedges continued to get pounded here. The VIX was up today. I think some of this has to do with going to the next contract, but even if you just look at VIX futures here, up 22 cents. Look, towards the end of the day, it started to bid up. I talked about the possibility of today being red. Looks like the spiders finished flat. SPX finished down $1.26. So yeah, we're red. We're red there. But reason why I said that is because you'd see some hedges go on. You could see VIXY getting a bid towards the end of the day. We have PPI tomorrow, of course. Today should have been quiet because of, again, market waiting on PPI and CPI this week. But this is getting insane. I mean, look at the volume here on the spiders. 35 million. Now that is including that little spike there. So a few minutes ago, it was a lot lower than that. That's the lightest since the day after Thanksgiving, which is a holiday. It's a half day. So that is really light here, for this market. I mean, I would think logically, if there's not a lot of hedges in place, which looks like that's the case right now, even if PPI comes in cold, it looks like that might be a short-lived pop. That's certainly a possibility there, as the market's kind of priced that in to a certain extent. At the same time, we're not that far from all-time highs either. So who knows? Maybe they can bid it up there. In the illiquid morning session where it doesn't take that much money. But speaking of the futures, we did hold on to that level on the ES. So again, the 786 is still holding right now, and that coincides with this big number here. So we'll see what we get tomorrow. I mean, either way, I'm not really thinking, at least until OPEX, I don't think we'll get much of a pullback. We could get a pullback, right? But that's all I think it'll be. I think afterwards you could see a little bit more downside. But at this point, like as per what I said Friday, I think it's likely a buying opportunity if that does happen. So either way, not much else to say here today. The market was so quiet, and we got to get this data out of the way first before we can really say anything else. The Qs did manage to close above that red bar here, but this is still a weekly level to me. So they can close up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and if they close below it Friday, it's still inside bar. So that is the way that works. IWM up 42 cents, although it did come way off the highs as bonds. Look at the ZT. It was up a lot earlier and then came, down pretty substantially by the end of the day. So IWM is so rate sensitive, and it had a gap up and then it faded off. Almost all of that. Dow actually did close red, down 18 basis points. Nothing terrible, right? It's still not that far away from all-time highs. Short term, you'll have about 392 and change as support. So not much going on here. I don't want to make too much out of the price action. SMH down 4 cents. Again, 618 still holding. IGV up fractionally, up 10 cents. It was up a lot more. All right, sold off pretty sharply intraday and finished flat. You do have a mini bullish inside bar here on the daily, but it's inside of this big bear pattern, and it's inside of a weekly bear pattern. So technology still remains weak. Semis and IGV lagging, but banks are outperforming. So that is the split there. Dow Transports, again, up early like everything else, then came back in around 10:30. Finished below the 100 moving average there. And we could take that fib across from, this pivot essentially. We went right into a 618 today. So a little bit of, and we didn't quite fill the gap there. So transports, I still don't love. They got a lot of work to do. So not a sector I really like right now. All right. So let's get over to, we talked about rates briefly, but you can see here the 2-year down today, but it upticked by the end of the day. And I think this is in decent shape. As long as you're above 4.72 on a weekly close. It's when you go out to the farther end of the curve that it looks a lot more like a bear flag. Even so, I don't think we're going to go much below this trend line here on the 30-year. And even the 10, you can kind of see the same kind of trend line there. It's not as perfect, but there you go. So rates holding up, nothing terrible here. Again, CPI and PPI are going to affect everything. XHB was down a little bit today, though, down 1%. So that kind of bucking the trend. Pretty good gap and crap there. And again, that trend line continues to hold. So we're inside of this channel here. If we fall down, we're going to go into this 103.50 area. There's a gap right there as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. But XHP notably weaker, and that's been a market leader. Up until lately, it's been a laggard. VNQ finishing up 27 cents today. Still below the 50 MA, and again, that 83 level I've been telling you about, 83 and 83.24. That's been the level. And that's been holding right now. XLF still continues to outperform. It was down 15 cents, but it's been holding up really well. We went kind of into this upper range here. A lot of chop up there. And it did finally back off of the highs. I think JPM was down. Yeah, JPM was down 4 cents. Nothing terrible. That stock's been a powerhouse. But, engulfing reversal for what it's worth. But banks have just been really strong. And that's a big positive for the market. So, if the semiconductors were weak and the banks were weak, I'd be a lot more bearish right now. But it's just the semiconductors at this time, which is still a lot. It's still a big deal. KBE down 24 cents. A new 52-week high was made, though, and this is knocking on the door of a breakout. You have a bullish inside bar here on the weekly. It's knocking on the door. So it just needs a catalyst. Maybe we need another week of a pullback, but I think, this is in good shape unless something changes here. And the same thing with the KRE, although the KRE is in much worse shape, with the lower highs and the failed inside bar here that didn't have follow through. But from a technical position, it's in worse shape. Broker dealers were higher today and then finished flat. You're still working on a bull inside bar here on the daily, but again, the monthly is very overbought and extended. So just be aware of that. I just can't be a buyer up here, but it's still strong. So oil got a bounce. I talked about this yesterday on Friday. I'd be looking for a higher low. I wanted to buy this. I didn't get a chance to. I was one of the many who had trouble with Thinkorswim this morning. So I didn't even get into the trading room fully until 10 o'clock. I mean, I was in there, but I had like one chart. I have right now in front of me, like, you guys can't see them all, but I have like 34 charts in front of me right now and multiple others on different tabs. But I just didn't have. And I heard E-Trade had problems today too, and that's not even related to Schwab. So there was some issues here really all morning. But yeah, that higher low would have worked. So, it held up there, and when I tried to get back into oil, I had so much going on, I couldn't even, really do it. I think when did this make? Besides, this made a higher low at like 11 o'clock last night, so it's not like I would have really done anything there. But either way, if this holds up, it can get back into 80 to 81 area. That's kind of where I'm looking for that to go. So oil holding up. I'm not going to make too much out of it right now, though. I still think that could be setting up to go lower. And the longer this goes sideways, it could be setting up a bear flag here. So you don't want to see that. XLE also backing off again inside of this channel here. I don't have a bias on it right now. I really don't. If it got down to 87, I would be a buyer likely. But right now, it could break up out of this channel. But from right now, the pattern on oil, I don't know, it's just suggestive that maybe that's a selling opportunity if that does happen. XOP is a little bit weaker here. That looks like it may want to make a lower low. If it sets up a higher low here, it could change that setup. Again, has the same kind of look as the XLE. You can make a case it's kind of a bull flag type look. Again, I just don't like how we close below that breakout bar. It's not the be all end all, but OIH again, still above 320, so that's shaping up a little bit better. Notice with the OIH here, how we almost made a higher high to this pivot, and then this low, and then this high, whereas like the XLE is a clear lower low. And so does XOP. So OIH actually, it was kind of a laggard on the way up and right onto this leg, and now it's starting to just outperform a little bit. So OIH starting to firm up a little more, and yeah, that's significant. I'm put it, make note of it. But I'm still kind of in the camp that energy stocks are backing and filling. I am interested in picking them back up again, though. CCJ down a little bit today. That's still, I'd say it needs another week, and then it can break out. And the same thing with URNM. Maybe need another week or two. Nat Gas here having a bid. Again, some of my charts are still broken. I'm not even putting in a support request right now because I know it's not going to get answered at the moment. But some of my futures adjustments are not going through right now. It's going through on the ES, which is nice, but not nat gas. So what I'm going to do is just pull up the M contract because I hate that continuous. It's a mess. And you're going to see here, we went right into 240. But it did have a nice day. Look at this big thrust here. And nat gas, I'm going to give the upside bias until probably the middle of June. That's generally where it wants to top out usually. But it's having a good rally right now, and then it's holding up. Dollar index, again, holding up down just 7 cents, but it was chopping around, and it came off the lows. So again, weekly pattern still fine. If this starts to break up and these moving averages separate bullish, this could really strengthen this trend here. Daily trend is still up. Got to get back above 105.50 to kind of resume up. There's still a lot of resistance up in this area and even more up here, but dollar is still okay for now. Gold here backing off a little bit down down 1.33, GDX down a little bit as well, but I like the higher high on GDX. And then silver here, basically flat. SIL down 37 cents, nothing terrible. Platinum finally got a higher high. I want to see this be a higher high. It's a little overbought going into this 1020 area, so it might need to pull back or flag, but good rally there. Palladium a little bit softer, still needs to get back above 1,000. I've been saying that for a while. I think copper just can't be explained. Well, I mean, I guess it can be explained, but obviously I understand the fundamental case. But I thought this could have been a good shot at a climax candle on Friday. Big up move, and then big pullback here, and it finished with a tail candle, but today just right above like it never happened. But this is a lot of resistance up here. That's why I think I don't know how much. I would not be a buyer up here. I'll say that, but it's really powerful, and this is what commodities do. By the way, speaking of powerful, ZW, I finally took profits on this today after a long time. So got a winner in the books. I've been holding wheat for a very long time here, and we finally got some profit locked in on this. Still holding some ZW, but big move. It's been a long time coming here. But this can really shoot up into the 750 area very quickly. That was kind of the things I've been telling members. Like once this goes, it's going to go fast, and that's what's happening right now. It is getting overbought, but this is a big pattern here on the monthly, and you can see here, it took more than, I mean, we could go all the way back to here, honestly, right? So it took the better part of a decade to break through that. It's not likely to break below it very easily. So buyers coming back in, and really good pop here for wheat. I still think the other softs are acting well too. Soybeans, corn. Don't even bother asking me. I'm going to tell you guys again. I get messages about Mosaic like constantly. I'm telling you guys, $25. It has not changed. That's been my case for almost a year probably. $24.50. Look, the fibs are still on there, right there. That's the level for MOS, just so you guys know. IPI actually in decent shape though. I think they had earnings last week, and then NTR here in a little decent shape. I like this one a little bit better. So, but that's what's going on with the grains right now. All right, Bitcoin, decent day. Actually finished pretty impressively. Trying to curl back up here. If it can make a higher high, it's got a good chance of going attacking this green line. In fact, it wouldn't be that far away. And it could repair the chart a little bit. So weekly never was really damaged. I know a lot of people are looking for 52. I think if we get down to 52, I think it'll pierce it by quite a bit quickly to stop everybody out. Because a lot of people are looking for that 52 handle. Either that or we might not even get down there. But as of right now, the 20 moving average on the weekly is caught up to price. If it's strong, it can break out. But it's holding up right now. I would just be neutral to positive on it right now until it takes out that low. All right, so again, spiders here fractionally, flat basically. Again, we'll see what we get tomorrow. We have a little bit of uptick in volatility ahead, so there is some hedges going on. Is that enough to really crush vol again? Even with the bounce today, the VIX is still, VIX future is still down quite a bit here. So maybe a dead cat bounce could last a few days for the VIX. It's certainly possible. That said, I don't see a ton of downside here in the short term. If there's going to be any sort of significant tradable downside, I think that would come after this Friday. But again, we'll see what we get going tomorrow as we finally get some real economic data here for the first time in well over a week. So anyways, guys, going to wrap up here. You guys take care. Take advantage of that flash sale. It's going to be here all month. If you have any questions, let me know. I will tweet out all the details in a few seconds after this video. But outside of that, you guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I'll see you guys all tomorrow.